Am I the idiot for secretly visiting my mom behind my family's back? I, a 22 male, was 6 years old when my mom, 41, signed away her parental responsibilities to my dad and left. Since then, it's just been my dad and my Aunt Jean, mom's sister, there for me. When I was 9, I got an invite to my mom's wedding and I wanted to go so badly, I'd have a role, but I got sick and ended up out of it in the hospital. My mom visited me every day in the hospital and it was the most I'd seen her in 3 years. I remember my aunt said mom was so excited to see me when my sister was supposed to be born, but I couldn't go cause she was born dead. My aunt took me to the funeral and mom didn't let go of me the whole time there. I didn't see my mom at all after that, and my dad and aunt shut me down when I asked about her. I didn't have social media till university and couldn't reach out. I know I had another sister, but she and my stepdad died in a car crash a few years ago. But on Thanksgiving my girlfriend and my friends did shrooms for the first time. I heard it helps with depression. I don't remember much of what we did, cause we got drunk too, but while high I messaged my mom on Facebook. That led to a tearful reunion at a Starbucks. Ever then I've been secretly seeing mom and sometimes staying over at her place. There was a room left untouched there for years just for me. I missed her so much and just getting to hug her again each time I see her makes me feel good. She told me why she was barely in my life and why my aunt and dad don't want me to see her, and she didn't go easy on herself, so I know she was honest. Either way, I was visiting my aunt yesterday and my mom texted me when I was in the washroom, left the phone in the kitchen. My aunt saw and she freaked it, so I told her everything. She told me I was being selfish doing shrooms, seeing my mom without taking her, and most of all not telling my dad, and begged me to stop seeing her. Honestly, I feel really bad that I hid it from my dad, but I know how he'll react, so I felt I had to. Update. So this is a bit wacky. But you guys were right about honesty and I decided I was gonna go tell my dad. However, right when I made it home I got a text from my girlfriend to go to see her in the hospital. She was getting discharged. So I rushed to the hospital. My mom called me on the way and I just had Siri send the response, "Lissa's in the university hospital, we'll talk later." Well, I was let in the room with my GF and she told me that while she was fine they found out that she's pregnant. Honestly, I didn't know how to feel, but seeing her smile just gave me an idea that it'll all be alright. So when she fell asleep I just waited outside trying to gather my thoughts, and all I could think about was my sister's funeral. I felt like shit, like she was a baby, and what if that happens to mine? So I started crying and all those depressive thoughts came back. My mom came to the hospital and it was the first time she's left her house for anywhere but the gym or Starbucks. And when she texted me I told her where I was. When she came she saw me crying outside the room. She thought it was bad news and just hugged me tight and sang me a song that she used to when I was small, and then said stuff like, "It'll be okay, baby, it'll all be okay." I didn't stop crying but somehow told her Lissa's pregnant. I said I don't know what to think and used it to broach the idea of therapy with my mom cause she knows what depression is like. And I want working through my feelings about being a dad and having her in my life with her. I convinced her cause I just said I didn't want to lose her ever again, no matter what my dad or my aunt say. She stayed with Lissa and me until she got discharged. As for my aunt, she gave me an ultimatum to tell my dad or she will. So I got them together and laid the entire thing out, from the shrooms to the pregnancy. I think my dad wanted to have a heart attack and my aunt wanted him to blow up at me, like his face got so red, but just said, if I'm going to be a man he has to trust me to make my choices. That seemed to bother my aunt, but she chilled. We've only had like 4 sessions so far, but it has been hard unpacking those feelings about my depression, how I felt when I was hospitalized or at my sister's funeral, and how angry I was at my dad for never letting me see her, and being a dad myself. It's been hard hearing how she thought she was a curse and I was better off without her, and how she feels I shouldn't forgive her cause she deserves to be a spinster. But end of the day she's not a curse, she's my mom and I know she loves me and I want her in my life and my child's life. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my dad's girlfriend the truth about why I have limited contact with them? I'm number 2 of 4 sisters. I had a good childhood in terms of having good food to eat, nice clothes, education, etc. I didn't have a good childhood in terms of a loving environment. My dad screamed at mom all the time, called her names. compared us to other kids. These are just a couple of things, there's a lot more. And of course he was always right, he could never be wrong. He did a lot of charity and helped other people, so Mom would always say what a good guy he is and we should be grateful for him. Me and my sisters also managed to ignore everything when we were younger and didn't know better. A few years ago there was a situation, I don't know how else to put it, with my older sister that finally made Mom take off her rose-colored glasses and she filed for divorce. I have limited contact with him now. He has a new girlfriend who he's been with for about a year. I've met her once and she did seem nice, but I just don't want much to do with him. Not that long ago his girlfriend DM'd me asking if I'd like to meet up with her for coffee and she wanted to talk to me. So I said okay, and we had lunch a few days ago. She asked me why I'm so distant from Dad and if it's something she did, or if she made us feel uncomfortable, and she would like to get to know us and clear the air. I said it's not anything like that and not to do with her. I eventually told her about what type of dad he was, how he treated my mom, all that. She seemed sort of shocked at first and I think she thought I was exaggerating. I didn't really know what to say, so I just replied this is what he was like with us, and this is why I limit contact. She obviously talked to Dad about this and he called me, asking why I said that to his girlfriend. I replied she asked for the truth, so I told her the truth, but he said he's upset I tried to make him look bad, and I'm one-sided. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for asking my girlfriend to watch my favorite movies with me? Last weekend was my male 28 birthday. My girlfriend and female 25 had asked what I wanted to do and I said I wanted to watch my favorite movie trilogy, LOTR. I don't think my girlfriend was thrilled, but she didn't say anything and agreed. She has seen them before and I don't think she really likes them very much, but she knows I love them, so she doesn't really say anything besides they aren't really her thing. But I really wanted to make a day of watching them and I went over to her house because she has a really big comfortable couch. About 10 minutes into the first movie and I look over and she is browsing on her phone. I was a little miffed but didn't say anything. She basically scrolled through her phone the entire movie. When we started the second movie, she opened a bottle of wine and proceeded to drink the whole thing while still sitting on her phone. I was pretty irritated at this point because she wasn't even paying attention at all. The third movie started and by then she had opened another bottle of wine and was asleep within the first 20 minutes. I was really mad at that point and just left and went home. A few hours later I got a text asking where I went. I told her I was mad that she couldn't pay attention to my favorite movies on my birthday. She told me I was an asshole and to grow the hell up. I've texted her a couple times but she hasn't responded. Ita. Edit, this has really blown up and I've gotten a little overwhelmed, but I do accept that I was the asshole. Watching 9 hours of movies that she hates was definitely too much of an ask and I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. I just took it personally because I felt like she didn't even try and these movies are important to me. The fact that she isn't much of a drinker and drank this much kind of set me off. I called and left her a voicemail apologizing.